Go.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Liverpool Connection podcast. This is Pub Chat, live down the pub today. Watch Liverpool, Arsenal, lost. That's it. Bye.
Wilson.
No, don't start with me, man, because I'll start talking for like the next 30 minutes or go.
Yeah, okay, definitely Glenn.
My initial reaction, I mean, we've just had a quick chat there. My initial reactions, I'm not as fuming, I don't think as Wilson. I'm not as fuming as him. I think you've just had a game where your goalkeeper's just been your goalkeeper and your centre-half particularly have just had absolute nightmares of games. No one's played particularly well.
And you're right back.
I mean, you can say him as well, but I mean, ultimately, when are you going to see a goalkeeper I mean, that's a turning moment in the whole game, isn't it? 1-1 at that point for your goalkeeper and your thing to make such a calamitous error. Well, Liverpool at the time looked like they were the better team. Like that, I mean, it's awful.
I mean, let's just talk about that goal. The number one rule as a center back, you don't let the ball bounce, man.
Yeah.
Win the ball in the air, head it out. You let the ball bounce, you're nonchalant, and then you're like nonchalant. Martinelli's like 128 pounds, man. Or I don't know how many stones that is for you guys. Van Dijk should be putting it on his ass, but he doesn't. And then,
man, he just deals with it, just headers it first.
He should have fucking headed. Yeah, I already said that. He should have headed it first. Deal with it in the air, man. You never let the ball bounce, ever.
Yeah,
as a center
but then
back.
you'd also say from the goalkeeper's just totally missed the ball, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like Van Dijk, yeah, head of the ball, but then the goalie's just totally missed it.
But did Van Dijk Nick Ellison on that or not? Or he just was.
I don't know. Maybe there was.
It doesn't matter, man.
Either way,
it was bullshit, man.
It's a
Well,
terrible goal, isn't
it looked like Virgil apologised to Alisson right after it happened. I get, yeah, there is partly a bit of Alisson to blame, but the majority of the blame there happens with Virgil. Like you said, Virgil should have been dealing with that, right? Alisson then is second guessing himself, okay, Virgil, and then the calamitous situation happens. But he didn't have a great game overall, Virgil. I mean, the majority of our team didn't have a good game.
Well, you know, we talked about before we even started the pod that Virgil had a hand in all three goals, right? The third goal, he didn't close down. The first goal, I don't know where he was. He was playing like center mid when that goal ends up scoring.
Tries to step up, doesn't he?
But so he had a bad game.
But
but you're allowed a bad game, right? I guess.
But taking it back to the beginning, we didn't start well.
No.
The first 15, 20, I mean, you could do the entire 45 minutes. We weren't great. We grew a little bit into it as the first half went on. But we didn't start great. That has been fairly consistent this season, especially away from home. And Arsenal weren't, I didn't think Arsenal were great. It
was lucky to be 1-1 at half time. It was a fucking scabby goal.
And
all the goals today were really shit.
And a lot of the chances Arsenal were due to
really
our own making, right? We were giving up too much space. There was individual errors. Trent looked like a player that hadn't started a game in a month, and he struggled. Which on that, it was interesting because Trent was really far out wide, and Gomez was the one that was playing the hybrid, and that was a surprise, right?
Yeah, big time. Which it was so weird, wasn't it? Because there was moments. If you think go back to that first half, there was moments where it saw work, where Gomez was coming to stand, he was picking those balls out. Trent put that brilliant ball in. And I can't remember the centre half. The centre half has made a great challenge.
Yeah.
There's a couple of moments where it's gone out there, but I think in general we struggled with it, didn't we? We really struggled. I mean, that whole left side was where most of the game was.
Yeah.
Really, but yeah, it was a weird first half. Like we didn't deserve to go in at one.
We could have been down 2-3-0, to be honest, and you know we get that big bit of luck right at the end. Started the second half, I thought fantastic. That first 10 minutes, really good on the front foot. But
well, he's one then. Just one then. Does he make the subs a little bit too early? I know it's easy to say it now, so don't look like a dickhead.
Well, we said it at the time, though, didn't we? We said at the time we felt like it was
all three.
We felt like, look at that.
All three,
oh
maybe. You know, I think all three was too much. You know, maybe two. Nunes, I thought yes. 100%, but yeah, I mean, what can you say?
Cheers, thank you. It did feel like, we did say at the time that it felt like the subs, all three, at the same time, felt a little bit
it could
early.
have been.
But on that point, it felt like they were too early because we had started so well in that second half, right? It looked like we had the momentum. I would have got maybe Nunes for Gakpo, something like that, or, that one change, or maybe an Elliott for Gravenberch. But all three, we lost momentum pretty much right after that happened.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, again, it's easy to say, isn't it? But I think it wasn't even that. It's the fact that if we've got one more change next to make, like around the 65, 70 mark, we didn't really have one because Thiago's not been back for ages. It was good to actually get him on the pitch.
Yeah.
But he was never going to play any more than really 15 minutes. So you didn't really have that other change 10 minutes, 15 minutes later. So maybe you could have waited for the Robertson one, to just seen it and then make the change a little bit later on. But
What's interesting about Robbo, I thought when I was just watching him, he never went down the line. He was cutting everything back inside. It's like that's a guy that just coming back. He's not really confident about his fitness, being able to come back. He never drove and stayed wide where usually he's offering that width on that side, and he kept just stopping the ball, bringing it back inside, recycling it. I'm like,
didn't affect the game, did he?
No, not at all. But I mean, it wasn't something like when you bring him in, and because they changed Gomez to the right side, right? So you want to have him to drive that line, and he never did it. Not one time did he ever go up there. Just stepped on the ball, brought it back inside. I'm like, dude, you're recycling. That's great, but we need to score. We need to attack. And it was just weird. It was like,
to that point, actually, there's a lot of moments where Liverpool had the ball. I think this is the one where Konate got his first booking, was when Jones has got the ball, like sort of like that top sort of left position just into the box. And I think he's waiting for that overlap, and you never seen him you didn't see him do one overlap in the game, did you?
No, and the thing was on that particular play, so Jones has 3 defenders around him. He has nowhere to go. And Jones needs to just pull it back, but he tries to go into there. There's no overlap, like you said. So there's a wrong decision. It goes back, and it ends up Konate being booked. And it's like, it was no fluidity in there. It's like, but it looked like we played with people that hadn't played in a while, with Robbo and Trent, that haven't not been in part of the team. And it showed, in my opinion. On the right-hand side, with Trent, he never really went forward. I didn't think he offered really much of anything. He had one ball in the whole game. With somebody that's that good, he should be able to influence the game more than just one pass, and he didn't. On the left side, when Robbo came in, he didn't really stretch the field, so he just played very, he just bringing it back in, and it's like it is. So there's decisions to be made going forward on what's our best 11, but the goals were nothing to be like. It wasn't like total football. It wasn't
like the goals would do lots,
like,
wouldn't they?
bullshit, right?
We shouldn't be giving away those type of goals, and we haven't been. We've been brilliant. We've been fantastic. Hopefully this is a one-off, but it looked like, of course, we got the news, the last-minute news that Szoboszlai was out, apparently through illness.
What a miss he was, by the way.
What a miss. Of course, Nunes had a slight injury while he was on the bench. The unfortunate news about Conor Bradley and his father, so he was missing.
Yeah, we definitely want to give respects to Bradley's family and this, he's a total miss from the club, but we family first, and we're our hearts are with them too.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, and then it almost felt like, with these, whether Bradley would have started or not, we don't know, right? It was pretty much guaranteed Szoboszlai was going to start, but because of these last-minute changes, when the team's worked on something for a week, it felt like a little bit of a patchwork. I still think Gravenberch, there's obviously potential there. He's a work in progress. But
I think we forget. I mean, he's only 21.
Yeah.
He's still young. He's still learning. But he gets knocked off the ball way too easily.
Yeah,
way too easily.
I think next year he's going to be a great player, but taking Jones out of that left midfield really affects our team a lot, because that's where he's best, on that left side. When they have to put him on the right, it's you think that players should be able to play different positions, but there's a unique skill set on each one, and you have to adjust. And when you're at that level, even adjusting a little bit, Glenn, even a half yard of adjustment makes a big difference.
Yeah,
man.
but I don't really think necessarily Gravenberg is more his position thing. I just think there's more like moments today, particularly where he's got the ball. He's like we had one in the we talking about where he's beat 2 players. He's done the hard bit.
Yeah.
And he's not released the pass a little bit quicker. And that's sort of the one thing. He just didn't sort of move the ball quick enough. But I think overall, if you think about the team, I think McAllister played really well, and I think Gomez done okay. I think
McAllister be one player that stood
everyone
out for
else.
us.
I was a bit disappointed when Darwin come on. I don't really think he really.
He didn't
I
affect
don't
the
really
game.
think he had one moment where he's got to put that across the goal, and if he does, then
And he skies
he's got
it.
to chance it. But I don't think he really affected the game. But again, you got to remember if he's pulled out, in the week and he's still coming back.
I mean,
suppose
shit,
it's
there was a
tough
point,
one,
yes, second half we went 3-1 down. I was like, well, let's take Darwin off and go down to 10 men. So I was worried about him getting another yellow card and being sent off. He's that much of a lunatic. The way he was going off with the referee after getting his first yellow, I was like, shut up. And I think it was McAllister, wasn't he? He put his arm around Darwin. He's like, please.
It's good to get Thiago
Keep it
back
down.
though, and if we're going to look at any positives, it's good to get him on the pitch, isn't it? That's a positive. There's not many other positives, is there? I mean, I am quite relaxed.
Today, no.
I'm quite relaxed about it though. I'm like at the start of the season, you say you lost 2 league games. Well, one you got beat against Arsenal away, and one you got fucked over by the VAR.
Yeah,
I mean,
We're still in a good position. Obviously, still top of the league. Yeah, City have 2 games in hand, but they still have to play them. They still have to beat those teams. Come on, Brentford, please. Come on.
Come on, you
they're
bees.
Still
The
in a good position.
Julian's favorite
Love
team.
the bees. Come on, you bees. But we're in an exceptional position. But we know now City, from past history, i.e. last 8 odd years, are going to go on a run, right? It's going to be highly unlikely they're not going to go on a run, which means we have got to be, and the fact is it's still in our hands, right? We've got to be perfect. We still have to play City at Anfield, but it's these games against,
That's where the league is going to be won or lost, that game at Anfield.
I don't know if it feels
I don't think so. I think it's going to be
Wow, you
against...
just got shot down massively.
Yeah,
I
I don't care.
That's all right.
It's not the first time I've been against you 3, so you guys didn't even think we were going to be in this position at the beginning of the season. So.
I don't think anyone did, right?
Well, I did.
Oh, come
It's
on.
on fucking
Here
video.
we go.
Go back
Here
to
we go.
the beginning of the season.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Well, it's
okay.
easy to go Liverpool are going to win the league at the
It
beginning
is.
of the season. Anyone can say that. But to be
I'm
honest...
the only one that said that. You guys didn't fucking say
Yeah, but you've got to think, like...
he's American. He's a bit more enthusiastic. We're miserable bastard.
No,
it's true.
My nature.
Because I was...
My nature.
Yeah.
No, because I was...
We,
About our midfield, I was very pro
It's-
on the midfield.
You were pro on
It's-
the
I
midfield.
know.
Yeah, you were.
it's the response that we've got to do after this. Klopp's got to come back,
Now, right, good
Bloody hell.
timing.
get
Tornado
the,
time.
get the
Texas.
lads back. We've got no footy in the
alright.
week, which is nice.
We'll be all right.
And we just got to go again, you know.
Burnley, right?
Yeah,
Burnley next
Burnley,
game.
Burnley at home.
But like Glenn said, it's only our second loss of the whole season, man. We'll be okay. We'll be all right.
It is what it is, you know. Let them have their time, you know. Arteta running down the fucking wing like he's won the fucking European Cup, which Arsenal have never done.
Parade
Thank you very
tomorrow,
much.
apparently, for Arsenal.
Yeah,
after that, I
parade,
hear.
open top.
Shut
Do
bus.
you know what, right?
Streets
Do you
of
know
North
what?
Let 'em have it.
As much
It
as
is
we
what
take
it
the
is.
piss for them, they had to win today. There's a massive one
Yeah.
for them, wasn't it? So
They do. They have
fair
to win
enough.
next
And
week as well. They
Maybe
probably won't.
if you've got another team that's sort of banging on City's door a little bit, you know, it may benefit us. I still think it'll be between us and City. So let's see.
All day long.
With
All
that
day
said,
long.
Yeah.
It's what it is, you know. We move on. It's a loss, but still top of the league. It's like you said, Glenn, Thiago's back. You know, can he stay fit? If we get Thiago for 10 to 12 games, please.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll see.
But you know, you say about
It's sounding like Simon Wilson, then.
yeah.
With the
But here's the thing. By next
You go
week,
for cheeky
you're gonna have Endo
McDonald's
back.
prank.
Endo will be back next week.
Endo's back next week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
It's another
Does-
body, isn't it?
and Mo should be back.
another body, yeah.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
But I
as
mean,
well,
it's,
so.
it's the bodies, right? So you could put Endo, you could put McAllister a little higher, but there's a lot of options. It's one game, and it's unfortunate that we had the changes very the day before the game with the Soboslai and Bradley. Because I really think Bradley could have probably started this game, in my opinion.
I think he
So,
will as well.
The big, just quickly to end is the good thing now is we've got about 6 games that, like in the league, I think we've got Brentford, we've got Burnley, we've got Luton, we've got Forest, not in that order, but we've got them 4. We've got the cup game, got a lot of games that on paper, seem okay. If we can get everyone back, and then if we can get into that City game where it's a point either way, if we're a point behind, a point ahead,
and at home,
then in that home game, that's the key, isn't it? But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well,
stuff.
still top of the league, but
That's right.
please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.